Welcome back, everybody. Today I have a 30-minute full body workout using the small Pilates ball. All right, let's get started. So laying on your back in a neutral spine with your shoulders back and down, chin tucked in, we're going to activate your deep core muscles, your T-zone. If you don't know what I mean by your T-zone, please refer to my Pilates basics video linked below. Okay, let's start your first exercise, the lift for and extend. So T-zone tight, and then we're going to lift one leg up into tabletop, extend it out along the floor, bring it back to tabletop, and then lower it to the floor and swap legs. So it's an inhale to lift the leg in tabletop, exhale to extend the leg out, inhale to bring it back to tabletop, and exhale to lower it to the floor. Now when your leg is in tabletop, it's a 90 degrees at the hip and knee, and the toe is pointed. Now to make it easier, your leg goes higher and not out as far. And to make it harder, you can extend the leg out further and lower along the floor, really stretching out through that leg. Nice. Just remember to keep that T-zone tight, the belly scooped, and try not to let the hips rock or the spine move. That's it. Really make those core muscles work. We've only got a few of these to go. Just warming up the core, getting it ready for our workout. And they are done. Well done. Okay, the next exercise is the double leg slides with your feet on the Pilates ball. This works your core muscles. So place your Pilates ball just under your feet with your legs together. You're laying on your back in a neutral spine. Inhale T-zone. Exhale, you're going to roll the ball away, straightening the legs. Inhale, roll the ball back in. Now you want to keep the ribs to hips so your back doesn't arch, and you want to keep those knees facing straight up towards the ceiling or the sky. That's it. Exhale to roll the ball out, and an inhale to roll it back in. That's it. Just warming up those core muscles even more. So you really want to keep the ribs to hips so your back is not arching as the legs go out. So only roll the ball as far as you can, maintain that neutral spine. Beautiful. So make sure your hips aren't twisting. Really focus on keeping everything nice and still. Keep those core muscles really tight. Beautiful. If you want to make it easier, you don't have to roll out the ball as far. If you want to make it harder, definitely roll out the ball as far as you can. Beautiful. Exhale to roll the ball away. Inhale to roll it back in. Now just check your shoulders are pulling back and down and your chin is tucked in. The upper body should be feeling quite relaxed. We want the core to be doing all the work. That's it. We don't want to be creating any tension in the neck or the shoulders. That's it. Keep them relaxed back and down. Keep focusing on your core doing all the work. That's it. Exhale to roll the ball out. Inhale to roll it back in. That's it. Last one. Beautiful work. Okay, the next exercise is toe taps, and this again works your core. So this time we want to imprint your spine and bring your legs up into tabletop, keeping them hip distance apart. You can hold the Pilates ball above your chest with the shoulders pulling back and down. Okay, really scoop out your belly, and then we're going to keep the 90 degrees at the knee and tap one foot towards the ground on the exhale. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop, and then go with the other leg. So exhale to tap the foot, inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Now if you want to add some arm movement, we're going to do a little bit of a skull crusher using those triceps. So just bending the elbows so the ball comes towards your forehead, and then straightening the arm so the ball comes back to above the chest to that starting position. That's it. So keep the shoulders pulling back and down, and keep those elbows locked in that position. So don't let them move forward and back or out and in. Keep them locked in that same position above the shoulders. So exhale to tap the foot towards the ground. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Now if you're feeling it's a bit too much to coordinate both movements, that's okay. Just focus on your toe taps today. Exhale to tap the leg. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Now just note the leg stays at 90 degrees. You're not bending and extending at the knee. It just stays in that position at the 90 degrees, and you're moving from the hips without arching the back. So really scoop the belly, really keep the ribs to hips, and the movement again comes from the hips. Beautiful. Exhale to tap. Inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Lovely work. So just check the shoulders are relaxing back and down. Keep those elbows above your shoulders. Beautiful. Okay, and they are done. Well done. Okay, the next exercise we are doing is hundreds preparation. This works your core muscles and some inner thigh. So place the ball between the ankles, just above your feet. And again, the spine is imprinted, hands above your chest. We're going to inhale T-zone, exhale, curl the body up, drawing your ribs towards your hips, hands sweep past your hips and really lengthen through the fingers as your legs extend to the sky, toes are pointed. Inhale to come back to that starting position. Good, so exhale, curl the body up and extend those legs. Inhale to come back to the starting position. Beautiful, really scoop out the belly. You can squeeze on the ball slightly to work those inner thighs. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down, keep the chin tucked in. Now to make it harder, you want to really curl the body up, really trying to get those shoulder blades off the ground, shortening the distance between the ribs and the hips. That's it, and you can squeeze on the ball harder. Beautiful. To make it easier, you don't have to curl up so high, and you can also keep the legs in tabletop so there's no movement through the legs. That's completely fine. Beautiful work. So it's an exhale to curl the body up, really stretching through those fingers, lengthen through those arms. That's it. Inhale to come back to the starting position. Curl the body up. That's it. To make it harder, really curl up. Try to get those shoulder blades off the ground. Keep the shoulders pulling back and down. Keep the belly scooped. Keep the spine imprinted. Beautiful. One to go. Well done. Next, we're doing glute work. So we're going to do your pelvic curls with the Pilates ball in between your inner thighs. So laying on your back, place the Pilates ball just above your knees between your inner thighs. Feet should be hip distance apart or closer depending on your Pilates ball size. All right, T-zone tight. Exhale, you're going to squeeze your glutes, push through your heels, squeeze on the ball slightly. Then you're going to tuck your tailbone under and then roll your spine up off the mat one vertebra at a time. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll it back down. Inhale at the bottom. That's it. So tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your glutes, roll your spine up off the mat one vertebra at a time. Go as high as you can without arching your back. You don't want to arch your lower back. You want to keep your rib to hip connection. You don't want your rib cage popping upwards. So draw the rib cage down. That's it. You may feel a stretch through your hip flexors, the front of the thighs. That's good. Just keep your T-zone tight. Keep your rib to hip connection and keep working those glutes. Excellent. So it's an exhale to roll up. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll down. Inhale at the bottom. Good. Just check your shoulders are relaxing back and down. Chin is tucked in. Beautiful. Keep it going. All right, this next pelvic curl, I want you to hold at the top. That's it. Squeeze your glutes, push through the heels and hold at the top. Keep the rib to hip connection, keep the T-zone tight. And then we're going to squeeze on the ball, working the inner thighs. So exhale to squeeze on the ball, inhale to release. Exhale, squeeze on the ball, inhale to release. To make it harder, you can squeeze on the ball harder, and you also don't need to release it as much, so keep more tension on the ball at all times. To make it easier, you don't have to squeeze on the ball as much. That's it. Keep it going. Exhale to squeeze on the ball, inhale to release. That's it. Keep your T-zone tight, ribs to hips. Excellent. All right, they are done. So roll it back down if you need a break. Otherwise, you can stay at the top. And we're going into single leg lifts. So in that glute bridge position with your hips as high as you can, but your rib to hip connection, so you're not arching through your lower back. Then really squeeze your glutes. Push through one heel and then extend the other leg in line with the rest of the body. So exhale to extend the leg, inhale to place it back where you got it, and keep swapping legs. Now you really want to keep your T-zone tight. You don't want your hips rocking. You want to keep them super still. You may want to put your hands on your hips for a little bit of feedback. You want to keep your core working super tight, your glutes working to stabilize, to lift those hips up, and your inner thighs to squeeze on the ball slightly. That's it. Keep this going. Keep those hips nice and still. Keep the rib cage down. That's it. Keep the core tight. Make sure your shoulders are relaxing back and down. Lovely. All right, they are done. Slowly roll it back down one vertebra at a time. Okay, next we're going into your clams, working more of your glutes. So laying on your side, you want a straight line from your shoulders, hips to feet. We're going to prop yourself up on the elbow. So have your elbow directly under your shoulder. Stack your hips so both sides of your waist are even. Now inhale T-zone, exhale, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your heels together, and then open that knee. Inhale to control back down. Now just make sure your hips are stacked, they're not rocking forward and back. Keep your T-zone tight to keep your hips nice and still, to keep the spine still and in neutral, and keep your shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Head should be in line with the rest of the spine. That's it. Exhale to open the knee, inhale to control back down. Now to make it harder, you can open the knee wider, just as long as your hips aren't rolling back. That's it. To make it easier, don't open the knee as wide. Beautiful. Exhale to open, inhale to control back down. Nice. Now, if you do find it hard to be propped up on your elbow, that's okay. You can lay all the way down, having your head resting on that bottom arm. Okay, next we're going into the bent leg lift. So up on the elbow with your shoulders pulling back and down. You're going to place the Pilates ball behind that top knee. So inhale, T-zone, exhale, squeeze your glutes, and then you're going to lift that top leg in line with the bottom leg. And then inhale, lower it back down. That's it. Exhale to lift the leg in line with the top leg without the hips rocking. Inhale to lower it back down. Now, if you're finding it a little bit challenging to be up on the elbow today, that's okay. You can lay your body all the way down onto the mat. Just remember to keep the gap between the waist and the floor so both sides of the waist are evenly and you're not just sagging your waist to the floor. Just note that your feet should be in line with the rest of the body. I generally line up my clients on the back of the mat. So feet, hip, elbow are on the back edge of your mat. So keep these going. Exhale to lift the leg. Inhale to control back down. Beautiful. We've only got a few to go. So just check your shoulders are pulling back and down and your chin is tucked in. Okay, next we're going into your sweeps, and we will do this one laying all the way down, so resting your head onto your arm. Just remember your hips are stacked and to keep the gap between the waist and the floor. So inhale T-zone, exhale, squeeze your glute, lift the leg in line with the hip. And then you're going to sweep the leg forward and back. So inhale, sweep forward, exhale, sweep back. That's it. To make it harder, you can sweep the leg further forward and further back. Just remember to keep that spine still, so you don't want to round your back as the leg comes forward, and you don't want to arch the back as the leg goes back. Really keep your T-zone tight and ribs to hips. That's it. The glute should be doing the work here. So make sure you keep that leg lifted, hip height, and take the rest like me if you need. That's it. Inhale to sweep forward, exhale to sweep back. Beautiful. So just check your shoulders are pulling back and down, your hips are stacked, so you can push that top hip away from you to keep the gap between the waist and the floor. And they are done. Okay, so let's do that all on the other side. So starting with your clams, prop yourself up on your elbow so your elbow is directly under your shoulder, and then you've got a nice straight line from your shoulder, hip to feet. Push that top hip away so the hips are stacked. Both sides of the waist are equal and the shoulders are pulling back and down, chin tucked in. That's it. Inhale T-zone, exhale, squeeze your glutes, squeeze the heels together and open that knee. Inhale to control back down. Beautiful. So really push that top hip away. Keep resetting your shoulders back and down. Make sure you're in a nice straight line from the elbow, hip to feet. That's it. Exhale to open, inhale to lower. Remember to make it harder, you open further, just as long as your hips aren't rocking. So you don't want that top hip to roll back. That's it. Keep that neutral spine. So make sure your bottom isn't tucking under. That's it. Nice and controlled. Beautiful. Keep this going. Last one. Well done. Okay, let's go into your bent leg raise. So pop your Pilates ball behind your knee and let's go. So inhale T-zone, exhale, lift that top leg in line with your bottom leg. That's it. Make sure your T-zone stays tight, your shoulders pull back and down, chin tucked in. If you were laying down on your arm on the other side, do so on this side also. Just remember to keep the gap between the waist and the floor. Good. If you're propped up on the elbow, make sure your elbow is directly under the shoulders and your shoulders are pulling back and down, so you're not sagging into the shoulders and shrugging the shoulders up near your ears. Pull them back and down, working all those shoulder stability muscles. We want to train the body to stay in a beautiful posture. That's it. Exhale to lift that top leg up. Inhale to control back down. Okay, last one. And then we're going to lay down on the side and go into your sweeps. So leg no lower than hip height. We're going to inhale, sweep the leg forward. Exhale, sweep it back. That's it. Keep the gap between the waist and the floor. Keep the hips stacked. To make it harder, you can sweep it further forward and further back. Just remember, you don't want the spine moving, so you don't want the butt tucking under as the leg goes forward, and you don't want your back arching as the leg goes back. Keep that spine nice and still. Make the glute do all the work. Lift that leg higher. Don't let it sag lower than hip height. That's it. Keep it going. Good. Take the rest if you need, like I'm doing. Inhale forward. Exhale, sweep the leg back. Beautiful. Keep the T-zone tight. Keep the ribs to hips. Good work. Keep it going. Okay, they are done. Let's go into some upper body. We're going to start with your lower trap activation. This works your shoulder blade muscles. So laying on your belly, really tuck your tailbone under. Think ribs to hips and belly button to spine. The arms are out above you with your hands on the ball. Good. Now, with your chin tucked in, neutral spine, we're going to inhale T-zone, exhale, draw the shoulder blades back and down as the ball rolls towards you. And then inhale, return the shoulder blades back to the starting position. The ball slightly rolls away. So it is only a small movement. You're just activating those shoulder blade muscles, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. So they make a V shape going towards your lower back. Excellent. So it's an exhale to slide the shoulder blades back and down, and an inhale to return them back to the starting position. Now, remember, it is only a small movement. You only want the shoulder blade muscles to work. Okay, and they are done. Well done. Next, we're going into flight. This again works your shoulder blade muscles. So we're going to place the Pilates ball under your lower chest, under the rib cage. Now from here, you really need to tuck your tailbone under. Think ribs to hips and think T-zone tight. I don't want you arching through your lower back. So inhale T-zone, pull those shoulders back and down and have your arms out to the side. From here, we're just going to rotate your palms up and palms down. So you're going to inhale for a few rotations and exhale for a few rotations. Really squeeze those shoulders back and down. Again, tuck your tailbone under, think ribs to hips. Now, if you're not comfortable laying in that position on the Pilates ball, maybe your Pilates ball is too big, that's okay. Remove it and you can do it just laying on the ground like I'm doing. Otherwise, the Pilates ball is under, just below your chest, under your rib cage. You're really tucking your tailbone, ribs to hips, shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in, and you're rotating those palms up and palms down. Nice work. Keep those going. Keep squeezing the shoulders back and down. You should feel this through the shoulder blade muscles and maybe some triceps and your glutes. That's it. Keep drawing your belly button to spine. Only a few to go. And they are done. Well done. Okay, we're going into Pilates push-ups. So remove the ball, have the hands just at the edge of your mat, just under your shoulders. So you can do these on your toes if you're up for it. I'm doing them on my knees. Just remember to keep a nice neutral spine. So for me, it's a nice straight line from the crown of the head to the knees. If you're on your toes, crown of your head to your feet. That's it. Now on an inhale, we're going to lower the chest towards the ground in between those hands, and exhale, drive up. With the Pilates push-ups, it's 3 levels down. So 1, 2, 3 down, and 1 drive up. Excellent. Keep the shoulder blades pulling back and down. Keep that nice neutral spine. So lift the upper spine up to meet the shoulder blades. Keep the head in line with the rest of the spine. So that means you don't want to let your head hang towards the ground. Keep it lifting. Keep the chin in. Also make sure your lower back is not sagging. So keep your rib to hip connection. Beautiful work. Well done. Okay, next we're doing some triceps in your all four position. So knees under hips, hands under shoulder, and we want most of the weight through the knees. Lift the upper spine to meet the shoulder blades, so it's a nice neutral spine with your head in line with the rest of the spine. From here, I want you to bring the shoulders back and down, elbow by your side, and then we're going to straighten the arm using your triceps. On the exhale, inhale to bring it back down, bend the elbow. Exhale to straighten the arm, inhale to bend. Beautiful. Now the balls are quite light, so it is quite a light exercise. So just really try to focus on those triceps, the back of the arm. Good. Keep the neutral spine, keep pushing the ground away. Lift the upper spine to meet those shoulder blades. You shouldn't be sagging down towards the ground. Okay, let's hold this position. So straighten the arm and pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. All right, let's do that all on the other side. So knees under hips, hand under shoulder, nice neutral spine. We're going to straighten the arm, keeping the elbow nice and close to your body, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in, head long. Inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. Good. Just working the back of the arm. Beautiful work. So inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. Just make sure your ribs are to hips so your lower back is not sagging. Keep lifting the upper spine, lifting the head. Keep pulling your shoulders back and down. That's it. Keep most of the weight through that back knee. And try to keep the elbows close to the body so it's not winging out. Beautiful. Keep these going. All right, hold this position. Let's go. Let's pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Okay, we're moving on to the plank. We're going to do a knee tap. So place the ball between the inner thighs just above the knees. Now, to get into a plank position, we've got our hands under our chest and a nice straight line from the crown of our head to our feet. Try not to stick your butt up in the air or let your lower back or butt sag. From here, inhale T-zone, bend the knees, exhale to straighten the legs. That's it. Really keep your ribs to hips, really lift the upper spine so your spine is meeting the shoulder blades. Push the ground away. Keep that nice neutral spine. Good. At any time you need a rest, you can come down, rest, or even come to a knee plank. That's it. Keep focusing on that nice neutral spine. Again, building the body in a good posture. That's it. Inhale to bend the knees, exhale to straighten the legs. Really keeping your ribs to hips. Nice work. Okay, we're going into some legs. So we're going to do the squats with the Pilates ball in your hands. So feet just wider than hip width or hip width. And we're going to bend down, bending those knees, sitting your bottom backwards, keeping the knees over the ankles and in the same direction as your middle toe. Try not to let them collapse in or wing out. That's it. Squeeze your glutes, drive your body up. So I'll say inhale to come down and exhale to drive up, really using your glutes. Keep your rib to hip connection, keep that neutral spine, and the arms go out, and then squeeze those shoulder blades back and down as you pull the ball towards you. Excellent. Keep pushing through the heels. Make sure you're not rolling into your toes. You want those glutes to work. All right, let's come down and hold this squat, not for long. got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Okay, we're going to move on to some squats with the Pilates ball between the thighs. So just place the ball above your knees in between your inner thighs. Now your feet will have to come closer together because you want to get the knees gripping onto the ball and you still want the knees in line with the middle toes. So inhale, sink the bottom back and down, and then exhale, squeeze your glutes to drive up. Remember to keep the T-zone tight, ribs to hips so you're not arching through your back, shoulders pulling back and down, especially as you draw those hands past your hips. Good. Inhale down, exhale to come up. Good. Working those legs, working your glutes, your core, and even between the shoulder blades. Excellent. Keep it going. All right, come down and hold, not for long. Push through the heels, squeeze your glutes, tummy tight, shoulders back and down. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're done. Okay, we're going to do some lunges. So we're going to go forward, take a step forward, and then lunge down, keeping that front knee over the ankle. You don't want the knee tracking forward. You want the knee over the ankle and in line with the middle toe. Push through the heel of that front leg, squeeze your glutes, and drive back. That's it, keeping the tummy super tight. Keep that spine in neutral, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. Just working through those legs, the core, the glutes. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you drive back up. Really keep your rib to hip so you're not arching through your lower back as you drive up. Just working through those legs, the core, the glutes. Nice work. Feel the burn. You're doing amazing. Keep it going. Good. Now we're going to do the same but reverse them. They are a little bit more gentle on the body and the knees. So we're going to reverse the lunge now. So just reverse, keep that front knee over the ankle in line with the middle toe. Push through the heels, squeeze your glutes and drive back up. So inhale to lunge down, exhale to drive back up. Again, keep that neutral spine. You can lean forward slightly over that leg to load up the glute a little bit more. Just make sure you stay in that neutral spine. Nice, keep that T-zone super tight. Keep pushing through the heels. Make sure your knee is staying over the ankle as much as possible. You're not rolling into your toes. That's it. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Your eye gaze should be just a few meters ahead of you. That's it. Push through the heels, squeeze your glutes. Feel the legs burn. We are nearly there. You're doing amazing. Just a few to go. Well done. We are so close, coming towards the end. We're going to do the Pilates roll down into a plank. So standing at the bottom of your mat, good tummy tie up nice and tall in a neutral spine. Tuck your chin in, and then we're going to imagine you're peeling yourself off a wall, one vertebra at a time. Chin, upper spine, mid spine, lower, until you're coming all the way down. Your hands close to the ground. You may need to bend your knees, and then you walk your hands out until you get to a nice neutral spine in a plank position with your hands under your shoulders. Good tummy tight, ribs to hips, and then walk it back. And then bend the knees if you need, and then unroll your spine one vertebra at a time until you're up nice and tall, like you're peeling yourself back onto the wall. Good. In your plank position, make sure there's a nice straight line from the crown of your head to your feet with your ribs to hips. Beautiful. Keep these going. Okay, the next one, when you get to the bottom of your roll down, we're going to just start some stretching. So you can soften your knees, tummy super tight, and then hold this position just hanging, stretching the back of the legs. Good, take a few breaths. And then bend the knees if you need and walk yourself out to your plank position. And we're going to go into a prayer stretch. So sinking your bottom down towards your heels, arms stretched out in front of you. Keep the arms as straight as possible and then sink your bottom back down towards your feet. Nice. Our last stretch today is the hip flexor. So kneeling with one leg out in front of you, tuck your tailbone under, ribs to hips, then slightly lean forward to stretch the front of the leg. The other arm can go up, and make sure your ribs are to hips so you're not arching through your lower back. Again, if your ribs are to hips, you can lean over slightly, reaching through your arms to get a nice side body stretch. Beautiful. We'll do that on the other side. So tuck your tailbone under, ribs to hips, slightly lean forward. You should feel the stretch down the front of the leg. Again, if your ribs are to hips, you can lean over slightly, reaching through your arms to get a nice side body stretch. Beautiful. Keep the T-zone tight. Keep the ribs to hips. And smile. You're about 3 seconds to the end of your workout. You did amazing today. That was a great, challenging 30-minute workout with the Pilates ball. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I'd love to see you again for a workout. Oh, and if you haven't already, please check out my activewear label, ARKHE. This is one of my favorite singlets. I'd love you to check it out. I'll leave the link below and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a great day. Bye for now.